Hi, welcome. I'm your host, Morr-isMoore,
Welcome through the wormhole. I'm your host, Shaq Morris.
and this is the Morr-isMoore podcast.
Welcome again, man.
Episode 5.
Big time. We
teased it.
It's episode 5 is really, the reason why we here today.
It really is.
So, it sparked a lot for us in our relationship for sure.
Yeah.
And what gave us the idea to do this.
We don't want to hype it up too much, but it is some crazy and interesting stuff. And you're really going to need to pop on that open-minded cap
Right now,
because
we about to dive into it. This is
a
a little more vigorous, informative than we usually do. But
couple side topics, but mainly just one large thing we're talking about. That 5-hour video is what we're talking about today. If you saw episode 4, we spoke about that then.
Facts. Big facts. What else we got going on right now?
Well, I had a couple questions for you before we start that. Otherwise, what do we got going on?
Well, guys, from episode 3, the challenge is still active right now.
True.
We got a few entries, 1 or 2 entries right now. So if you want to get entered, you go ahead and do that. And hopefully by episode 10, I think I'm going to be giving away a Rolex. Yeah.
Think so?
I think I'm going to give it away, man.
Boy.
That's big time. But we're going to have to do something special for that.
Yeah.
Estimated about like $7,400.
Yeah.
And
chill out about that.
It's going to be in your pocket. Yeah.
Well, yeah, besides the challenge, we're just trying to reach that, again, 10K subs, 10K likes, we gooch.
And you
comment yourself in there.
You can get all of this, anything you want for free.
Yeah.
Tapestry, hat, hoodie, any color. So go ahead and do that. And matter of fact, while you're here, do it right now. Like, subscribe, comment, say what's up to us, man. Appreciate y'all coming again.
All right.
And today, what are we talking about today? The 5-hour video. Big time.
Again, it's listed as the lost history of Flat Earth.
Yeah.
And I know how Flat Earth sounds to most people. So, again, just you're taking it with a grain of salt. You got your open mind cap on. We had to do the same ourselves. So
and we want to shout out to...
It's all theories.
To the guy who opened our mind on this. If you want to check it out for yourself, go to his page.
We got it linked in our description as well.
Right here. Pop that right there. That's what it is. Go check it out yourself. So we want to shed light on him. Thank you. And we're going to credit you for sure.
Oh, yeah. Take a look at the video when you get a chance. Watch a half an hour through, every other day, a couple weeks. It's worth it. Again, I talked about how it was worth it. All right, so some starting questions I want to ask you, which kind of goes into what we're going to talk about, though. Do you know how an atmosphere works? Like our atmosphere?
Like layers of the atmosphere? Or are you talking about like scientifically the Van Allen belts and stuff like that?
So specifically what I'm talking about is how we have our atmosphere without everything protruding into space. What keeps everything in?
Like the air and everything like that?
Yeah. Well, what's
you want to know from my belief
shield?
Or what does science say?
I want to know both. I want science first and then your belief.
Well, science first. The Van Allen belts protect us from sun rays and everything like that. Otherwise, if it wasn't there, and it can get through the ionosphere and the atmosphere and everything else under, man, it would be pretty catastrophic. We wouldn't have any protection, and we'll be exploding or freezing.
Yeah,
our asses off from.
That's what global warming affects, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got the magnetic poles that, those are what hold the Van Allen belts together, and I believe, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever there's a solar flare, usually it affects the Van Allen belts and it pulls it back. If it's a real bad,
it peels away.
it's getting rid of our protection. That's how strong the solar flares are.
Oh,
so it's pretty crazy.
And that's why it affects communications and stuff like that.
Yeah,
when there's a solar flare nearby. That's crazy.
That's scientifically, but
Yeah. So now, Shactifically.
Shactifically, I like that. Comment down below Shactifically.
Shactifically.
To me, it's the firmament. So, firmament says there's nothing that can get in or out whatsoever, and we protect it.
Okay.
By the waters above. So what you see right there scraping what looks like it's inside or like trying to get into our atmosphere, it's actually just scraping the outside waters. Possibly. Plausibly.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And I mean, did you see the rocket that Elon Musk just released with SpaceX and stuff?
I think I saw the rocket, and I think I saw some videos, but, I never know what to trust.
The video's been super popular. So, like, shot off a SpaceX rocket, and it took that little curve and kept going, and it just looked like it ran into water.
Really?
Yeah. I've sent you some videos on it. I was like, yo, what do you think about this? But he don't really reply like that, so.
Bull. He's just a hater. He loves to hate.
So it's crazy.
Well,
but yeah.
Another question before we kind of really get into this stuff.
Okay.
I had it noted here. Oh, yeah. So I don't know how recent it was. I thought it was pretty recent. It could have been from a while ago. You heard of the astronaut that drowned?
Oh, snap.
Again, I think it's recent, but I'm not 100% sure. It could also be in the 70s for all I know. I just know I was reading about it.
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
Well, so a guy dies from drowning in a spacesuit.
And he was in space,
He was
supposedly?
in space. Now, obviously, the most rational, or what do you want to call that, would be maybe he had a water system or the system that takes the moisture from the air. That went wrong, filled up his helmet, and he drowned his own helmet, right?
But come on now, moisture.
Exactly. But possibility, what do you think?
Condensation, something to catch condensation.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way sounds like you could drown to me is if you're in freaking water.
Yeah, like at NASA's pools where they train?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if there is a firmament and they are through the firmament in space?
Oh, okay. So he was
Helmet
in the
breaks,
firmament and
pressure takes it. Damn. Maybe it was just flimsy in general and he drowns up in the waters above.
Damn. That's some deep thinking, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. No, you said this is how recent you believe?
Again, I think it's within the last year or two, but also I can't remember if it looked like there was news reportings and it was.
How do they explain that though? Well, we just had
again. I'm pretty sure it's like
die.
However, how they have their water system, it got filled up.
Or did he piss on himself and?
There's piss in the soup, probably. I think so. That would suck. That would really suck.
They say they go out and they like do stuff when they in space and like on the ship on the outside
fix
and
the
stuff,
space station, stuff like that. Maintenance.
Maintenance. And I heard sometimes they out there for hours, right? So do they have a space like a pot or a place or something? And they freaking.
I'm pretty sure they
catheter.
I think it's a catheter type deal. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah. They bring that bad boy back and they put it into the water recycling system.
I can't go.
They recycle all their water up there. I think they also have to recycle the oxygen too. If I remember right.
Yeah, I believe you would have to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, who bringing them tanks?
Yeah, exactly. You need to get tanks
we need more tanks up there
every day, if not like every few hours.
Yeah.
So they have to recycle all that.
That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
But
it's funny. They used to have space food, like freeze-dried stuff, whatnot. And now you got them up there with PB&Js and shit.
This was crazy. So, I went to a field trip. I've never told you this before.
Really?
I don't remember where I was going to school. I've been to a lot of different schools, growing up, because we moved a lot. But one of my schools, I believe it was in elementary. We had a NASA field trip, and we went there, and we would go like every 2 weeks or so. And I love that. This would make me want to be an astronaut, and I was great at it. Yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut.
That's awesome.
And then from astronaut, it changed to meteorology and stuff like that in college or whatnot. But so anyway, back to the story. We would go there and speak to people at this NASA base or whatever, and they were super informative with us, and they let us do fun stuff like freaking freeze dry fruit and stuff like that, and like
That's
dehydrate.
cool.
Sorry,
Yeah, dehydrate. That's what it is.
Yeah, dehydrate it because it's dangerous up in a space shuttle to have,
Yeah.
water just floating around and messing up.
Yeah, moisture can just float.
Yeah, I mean, but you could drown though.
Yeah.
So we dehydrating fruits, but they drowning in the suits. Come on now.
Yeah.
Bars. So yeah, that was funny. That was fun. And
That's crazy.
bro, I
A
also
little astronaut chat. What could have been,
I also, now that we on the subject of NASA, had a family member who I probably shouldn't even say this to the world, but I know I love y'all, so don't send this to the feds. But he
Just some dude.
he
on
or
the streets.
she said, basically, long story short, to my family, hey, you guys, this was a long time ago. I was a little kid. Guys, don't say nothing about this. Y'all know I've been working with NASA for X amount of years. But we did recently get some communication back from someone that we've been, or, cause you know how radio waves work, right?
As in,
How they go on forever in space.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Even the ones we've sent back, like the earliest ones we've sent,
Yeah.
haven't even reached outside of our galaxy. I think.
yeah. And you watched the Cosmos. What's the telescope that we send out? I believe it stopped working, but
I haven't seen the Cosmos in too long.
really?
Yeah.
So we sent out. I want to get the name right, but since I don't have it off the top of my head, you will.
Okay.
That telescope, it went out for millions and millions of miles and far as hell, and picked
Okay.
up a lot of stuff. Right. It still messed me up that we lost the technology to go to the moon, but we can do stuff like that.
And you got to the moon,
and trying to
so-
colonize Mars and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, hey, we got some communication back. I just want to let y'all know because y'all my family. And this don't leave this room. Blah, blah, blah. But intelligent beings reached back to us at NASA and told us to stop reaching out. Stop trying to have communication with them because us as humans weren't intelligent enough. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It almost sounded
Crazy.
like they're gonna warn us because, like, shut up. If you make any more noise, then the
Like, hey.
bad ones out there are gonna hear you and come get you. Kind of a
Damn.
deal. That's creepy, isn't it?
Maybe
Like,
Marvel and
stay
all that
quiet.
ain't too. He trying to protect us from Thanos.
Right.
The real life Thanos out there is not the same.
Hmm.
But yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
kind of got some questions for you. We're gonna kind of dive into it too. So at a point in time in humanity, we believed in flat Earth. They lost history of the flat Earth. What happened to that? Why did we stray away?
So, as the video says, this all starts with the Great Reset. Is what he theorizes. The Great Reset.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into the Great Reset,
Okay.
tell me about this heliocentric model
Mm-hmm.
of our solar system,
Globe.
the universe, multi-universes and everything. What do you think about that?
Well, we were just theorizing about talking to aliens in outer space. So we're kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's just because there's some things that make sense and some things that also make sense.
What's some things that don't make sense to you?
So there's a lot of basic flat earther stuff that they'll talk about that's just it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and it gives a bad name for the theory of flat earth.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh well, I can't see the curvature from standing on this boat on the ocean.
Yeah.
And just like if you times 7 meters by 7 meters, like, there's a bunch of just silly stuff, and I think that's on purpose. It's to make it look bad.
Mm-hmm.
For one, which we'll get into, Polaris.
Bro, that was my number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that does not make sense to me.
It doesn't move.
Polaris does not move whatsoever. If you don't know what
going like
Polaris
that.
is,
We're going like that through the universe, and Polaris is just
we'll pop
chilling.
up a picture right here. Look at that. Everything in motion. Except for Polaris. It's like a damn
And we're
black
even
hole you could just shoot
tilted,
through.
spinning on our own, spinning around, and moving forward.
And we always tilt.
Yeah, we always
We
tilt.
tilt on the axis this way, summertime. This is how seasons change. Us as the Earth.
As depicted it through.
How the hell does Polaris stay in the same spot? I want y'all to comment.
I just
and tell us.
I can understand one
How?
movement of this direction,
No.
but then when you start adding us going like this, and then you also add the actual planet.
Not only that, but us around the sun. And
Well,
it
that's what I'm
stays
saying.
yeah.
All three forms of movement. Our rotation versus our literal rotation around it, as well as our rotation forward.
Yeah.
Whatever direction we
So
call
that
that
brings me to my second point. So another thing that doesn't make sense to me in this heliocentric system is the freaking moon to me. And I say that because this heliocentric system expects us to believe and know and just accept that the moon, let's just put it this way. So if we're moving, the Earth moves at 67,000 miles per hour around the sun, okay? One circle around the sun being a year, obviously.
Yeah.
The moon is moving around us, they say at 22, you could pop it up, but I believe it's 2,288 miles per hour.
Okay.
So let's say if this hand right here is the Earth, and we're going this way towards the camera, and the moon is here. So if the moon is going around us, when it gets to this point where it has to perpendicularly go around us like this, it has to speed up to almost 70,000 miles per hour. It just takes off on that backside just to get back in front of us around 240,000 miles away, and then slows down right back here to let the Earth move in front and repeat the cycle back at 2,288 miles per hour. Consistently is shooting faster than the Earth. 69,000 miles per hour to be exact. Continuously. All while going around, all while the sun is moving through the Milky Way at 300,000 miles per hour. And then the Milky Way is moving at freaking 600 miles per hour.
No.
Bro. I used to believe in the heliocentric layout, but we about to explain to y'all. Again, where did we lose this history of flat Earth and why?
Yeah. Also, back to what you're saying too, I feel like the only way they could really say how that works without it being anything but a rock would have to be the same way we slingshot to get farther, or at least the proposed idea of going around gravitational pull to use that as more force. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask you one little thing. Have you seen those new rockets? Where they, and then it lets go of the rocket. There's a slot launches the rocket.
Oh, whoa, no, I
Yeah.
think I have.
Without
seen
having to
those.
literally launch it with
Yeah.
like fuel and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And I
It's
can't
pretty
remember,
dope.
they had something else like that too, and I wondered of why those are being created instead of dropping them from space or something like that.
They trying to launch it against gravity and whatnot.
Yeah, they're using the gravity as, an advancement.
It's a lot of math that goes into that as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, that's just such a cool idea of just,
Yeah.
spin that motherfucker around.
Last question before we hop into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Take out what you know from this segment, right? How do you believe the moon was made?
Do they even have an answer for that?
Yeah.
They do?
The answer is scientifically, if you go and ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, it was Earth, and then when it was a ball of fire, and then a huge big-ass rock came and hit it, collided with it, and then over time, just this very perfect spherical
I was going to say
thing came out of that chaos.
Like,
back to episode 4.
I was about to say the same thing.
What do we know?
The chances are small. Obviously, if it's true, it happened. But at the same time, like,
I could see if it was.
That's just too weird.
Come on, bro.
That's too weird.
Come on, man.
It also seems very weird that it almost seems like they're making it where you have to have a moon for a planet to be a planet. You watch anything else, like, oh, it's got its own sun and a moon. Like, it's necessary. Well, it might well be, but just not for the reasons that we're told.
Yeah.
That's how I see that. Does that answer your question?
No, I mean, a little bit, but it's...
I guess of how it could happen. So, in my own understanding, I mean, again, there's so many options, right? That could have happened.
That's what science
could have been
says,
built,
is that one.
Right? It could have just been something that flew by, and then, who knows?
I'm gonna stay right
caught
here.
the gravity, yeah, and just like, oh, actually, we're hanging out here without smashing the Earth,
Like unintentionally not smashing the Earth, because when the moon makes that movement and it's 240,000 miles in front of the Earth, if it stayed there, the Earth would catch up in 4 hours, and it would be cataclysmic. So
yeah, it would just go break into it.
We would all die.
Yeah.
So instead, it just say, whoop, let me keep doing this loop. Let me spread. Slow down. Spread. Slow down.
Yeah, that gives me two things. Either, again, scientifically, it's shooting forward just to land back, to shoot forward, to land back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody designed it to be that way.
Mm.
Or, my final option, it ain't out there. It's in here with us in the firmament.
You know you about to have to elaborate on that soon.
I know.
See, we told y'all got to take off what you know. Take off that cap.
Put on the new open-minded cap.
Of society and acceptance.
And you don't have to believe nothing, but think about it. In my mind, I'm interested by the Bible and stuff, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I like hearing about it.
So don't just let somebody say, hey.
Approach it as science fiction at the very least.
This is what it is and these are facts. And you just say, I accept and I believe that.
Yeah. You like the lore of Star Wars? Like the lore of Alien?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. It's the same thing. This is just a different lore.
Yeah.
That could be truth, but at the very least, it's just a fun story. So just, take as you will.
Oh, man. But y'all be ready to dive into this, okay?
Let me see how we'll probably want to roll down this. So I pretty much made notes since the very beginning of the video. Yeah. If you want to, I will run through my notes and you interject in between spots. Like, say, if I move on to something, you're like, oh, hold up. Then you go on your stuff. Does that work?
So what we're doing, we getting straight into the very, very beginning of the truth, actually. These are all things that's factual. And so we just hand it to you guys and give you guys the mindset just to think. Just think about it.
Not everything's factual. It's a lot of speculation.
Towards the end is skeptical.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that line up.
It's all probability,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Theories.
But to me, it's the truth.
So we basically, the video, I'll just tell you how the video goes itself. So the video brings up a bunch of points, kind of chopped up throughout. And then as it gets deeper and deeper, he brings up old points, elaborates on them until it all culminates into the grand idea.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be doing as well. We're going to talk about the points, go back and forth, build on it, and then culminate. So that's kind of what you can expect. So not everything will even make a lick of sense at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
So the Great Reset, right? We've heard that before.
Yeah.
Maybe thousands of years ago. You know, we had an apocalyptic event that just took everything over, the Egyptians' technology, whatever, and that's why we are today behind. That's a great reset. This great reset is saying that we essentially inherited a planet, right? We inherited the land that we are around. Whether we came from a different part on the same planet, whether somebody planted us here, whether somebody brought us here, it was a reset, okay? And everything from then on was new. So at the beginning, we're looking at giant trees of the past. You've talked about those before. Yeah. You know, there's that one canyon, I believe it's in Arizona, and it's just spot on, like a tree trunk that was cut, you know? There's a bunch of those. Now, we also break down 1895 was the first power tool.
Yeah,
okay?
Come on.
It was the first power tool.
The very first power tool.
That put batteries with, I believe, a handsaw type deal and made it into a power tool. It required more than one person just to use it.
Yeah.
And I believe it wasn't very helpful as compared to especially nowadays power tools.
Yeah. And you guys are about to see a lot of pictures, so the first
camera, you'll see all this stuff. I'm going to pop up the power tools. We'll put it all up there. You don't have to pop it each time if you want, but it's up to you.
Don't tell me if tell me if I'm skipping ahead, but
yeah.
You guys got to understand that the first camera was made in 1820.
Yeah, that's
1820 something. So what he's telling you is from 1860s?
That was 1895, first power tool.
Yeah, that's just
that's just that portion.
First power tool, but you'll get
the Great Reset, I believe, was 1800 or so, somewhere in the 1800, 1850.
Yeah,
is what we're looking at. So we've essentially been here for 200 years, is what it's postulating, right? 200 years.
Come on now.
So 1957 is when they first started making bulk power tools. So you're already looking at over 60 years in between from the very first power tool to even just building them bulkily.
Yeah.
Not even the ones we have today.
Yeah.
So how did we create... This is going to go to the main idea of the Gothic, Renaissance, medieval. These structures, we're going to pop them all up here.
Yeah.
They're grand. They're extravagant. They're artistic. They were delicately created with precision.
Yeah.
So considering the power tools being just 1895, almost 1900s.
Yeah.
How are we doing? Forget about the pyramids, right? How are we making all these Gothic, Renaissance, medieval buildings?
So, number one, we got to ask ourselves, when was the industrial period? Sorry, my throat was a little. The industrial period, when did that start? That's like 19. If I don't know for sure, Race will.
Yeah, we'll pop it right there.
This is when the industrial period started. If you don't know what the industrial period is when we start actually using freaking machinery to get stuff done. You could buy a damn washer machine.
Creation
you can excavate things and use tow trucks and lifters and all of this other stuff.
Yeah. So again, how do we create them if we're so primitive, right? Like these buildings have been around for hundreds of years, at least 100 years for most of them, right? If not longer. Before that first power tool was even made. And they're so specific. They're beautiful. Like they're wonderful buildings and they're so specifically made. You have the points, the domes, the spot at the top might have a cross, might have a moon. Might just be straight up.
How do we? This is what I can't wrap my head around. So to build that, what are we using? A horse and carriage
Right?
to come in?
We using a chisel?
We using is it a big ass rock there?
No.
That we just carved in?
How are we hauling it
Ain't
up there?
no way, because there ain't no rock similar to it around it.
And a lot of that stuff isn't made out of specifically just rock. And it's different. Like, there's different supplies making each of these portions. You know? And then you have, obviously, like copper, gold, all that type of stuff on top.
Damn.
Being made into that.
That has to be extracted.
It has to be
from
extracted.
somewhere.
And it has to be, like, melted down properly and molded. You know, all, like, specific stuff.
Yeah.
But you look at, I can't remember which country it is. It's the giant archway. Right?
Paris, France.
Paris, France.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can drive all around it, but it's that giant archway.
Yeah.
Which, being there, it doesn't really have a reason if you're not driving through it, right? That thing has been standing for what's thought to be like 1,000 years, if not more.
Yeah.
If you look at that and you see the statues that are chiseled into it,
Yeah.
they're better than a lot of
supposedly-
statues out there nowadays. How perfectly made they are.
Supposedly.
Symmetrical.
Right? Supposedly hand carved.
Supposedly hand carved, exactly. Supposedly.
Handmade. All of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand it.
You look at the inside, not only of that arch, but, you know, again, these Gothic Renaissance buildings.
Yeah.
The top of the domes.
Yeah.
Top of the places in general. You'll see specifically made, like, little flower petals. These interesting designs. They can make a match for match. And they look perfect.
Exactly.
I have the tools to do so, and I probably couldn't even manage that without a 3D printer or something.
Facts.
You know, even think of an artist today doing that on a ceiling.
Yeah.
40 plus times and making them all look exactly the same.
But
perfectly.
then the timeline, how long that would take.
Exactly how long would it take?
God.
With how it was done.
Well, how it was
Makes you
done,
wonder.
and with the first power tool not coming until damn near the 1900s.
Yeah, either you got the same person with the exact same vision for that design that can all do one each at a time.
And then you have nothing to bring material and...
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it would have to take hundreds of years.
It would have to.
Think about that.
Just the patterns alone.
But
think about the dome that it's on. Think about the rest of the building.
Then that means it's a whole different generation that made it.
And what do they use? You know?
Damn.
What did they use?
We
to accomplish that.
See, we definitely lost.
And that's why we're putting pictures up here too, because we want you guys to kind of see what we're talking about. That you know, you see this stuff, you can go on a tourist vacation, go to Paris and look at that thing. It's gonna look cool, but you're not gonna get in depth and look at it, and no one's having you question.
Yeah.
How the hell it was done when it was done? So, how it still stands today when we have structures, we have an earthquake, our houses are gone.
Foundations.
We haven't created anything like that since then.
Similar to the freaking pyramids, bro.
You could argue we haven't created anything like that.
That's another thing about it.
Ever.
So like, you can see the pyramids of Giza, like, and you know them, you accept them, right?
Yeah, because you've already learned about them.
And there's people who claim them as their own, as if they are people who built them, but nobody knows who did it. And then they give you tours.
Wall carvings is all you got.
And they try to upgrade you and let you know, update you on the knowledge of the hieroglyphics. But all it is something that we just saw and adopted. But it's been standing strong still to this day.
Yeah.
Think about that. Now, we go back to where we are now, right?
Yeah.
In the 1860s?
Yeah, roughly.
At this point?
1800s, we'll just pop that down.
Where are all the people?
Yeah.
Where are all the people at?
We'll pop up these photographs.
Look at this. Tell me, these aren't illustrations. These are from a photo. Camera was made in 1820s. the population. Let's see.
They're in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
I believe it's somewhere in 60 to 100,000 people.
I believe these
places like Chicago.
Yeah, right
You know,
here in these pictures you
exactly.
showing. It's freaking the population of people at this time in the 1860s is 500,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can tell by the shadows on the ground
Time
that
of day.
it's 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Where are all the people?
They inside watching TV. They
What-
ain't got TVs. They don't have
They ain't got no
any
Wi-Fi.
reason to be home. They're out. They should be outside or working,
And it's continuously
bustling
and
around.
You can go in different parts of the world. Same thing. Where the
Same
people?
thing.
Again, where's the people?
Where are they at?
See, this is the
all
stuff we're
all
talking
of these
about.
extravagant places made.
Yeah.
All of these buildings. No people.
So
You couldn't
when-
catch that even at nighttime. Anywhere you're at, you're going to see a car.
Yeah.
At least a single car.
So then that
And it's never even that low.
in itself, to me, seems like somebody who just showed up and took pictures of the pyramids of Giza, and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But it's there. We don't know who made it,
It's,
how they
these
made it.
pictures especially,
Come on
they
now.
look eerie. Like, it gives me the feeling of imagine if we just flew out into space.
Yeah.
We land on a planet, we find buildings, architecture,
So
and no one's there. You know, you're asking the questions, where do they go? That's how it makes me feel in those photographs is, where did they go?
yeah,
Who did all of this?
yeah.
Because it certainly doesn't seem like us at that point.
And then it's freaking dirt roads everywhere.
Yeah, the roads do not match what they
Just-
built around them.
Something so luxurious that would obviously at the time hundreds of years to make. You putting around dirt.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And you made buildings, so how far is it to put concrete or brick on the ground?
Yeah.
Something,
Damn.
you know? Like, what's going on there?
So when do we start seeing people?
I can't remember the year, but we start seeing them in Moscow.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They start coming around. We
Somehow
start seeing these
there's life.
people. But again, have you ever seen, I believe is it the Gremlin in Moscow? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure.
So there's a really extravagant building. It's got, the spires so intricately designed. And I think all of them are a different design each.
Yeah.
They're amazing. And that was built before the photograph was taken,
Yeah.
Again, with horse and buggy, they're making this amazing thing.
Facts.
How
Horse
does
and
that not
buggy.
seem adopted?
Horse and carriage. How many horses you think it would take to move half the materials that
Well,
they
you know
needed for?
you know what's funny? Is okay, now we're talking about transportation, right?
Yeah.
Well, that transportation is a living being. So even if you need, let's say, 50 horses to take one block of something, right?
Yeah.
Like just example of the Egyptians,
Mm-hmm.
they need 1 ton of rock, or not 1 ton. It's like 50 million tons or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Just at least thousands of tons. You need 50 to 100 horses, whatever, to bring it back. Okay, but once you do that, they're gonna get tired.
Not only that,
How many horses you got?
what you have will be damaged.
Yeah, that's true.
How would?
Unless you are taking a rock that's bigger than what you need in order to make it into the rock that you need once it's there, right?
I can see that.
But even then, how are you getting the rock to what they were?
But even then, that would take so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is
I'm saying
you
have
don't
if
have
these
a
is-
car. You have these horses that will get tired. That's a delay on your timeline. You have
Yeah.
human beings doing this. They get tired. That's time off your timeline.
Yeah.
None of these can be done quickly. And I can't remember which one it was on here. Okay. We're about to roll over into that side.
I
Your
wonder.
last
I
thoughts
wonder.
on that portion?
Yeah, I want to know how long it would take doing it by horse or manpower.
Well,
You would have to start in the freaking 1500s just to get to where the hell you
Oh,
were
yeah.
in the 1860.
you have to have slaves doing it. You'd have to enslave a people or a group in order to accomplish all that. You think anybody's just going to do that because they get some money?
Damn.
You're not going to get it done in enough time if you're paying people. I'll tell you that much.
Man,
Yeah.
Well, the people ain't doing nothing. They ain't working. They ain't on the streets.
Well, exactly right. Or maybe they're off somewhere else doing it. Either way, it's weird.
So, sounds like we freaking inhabited all this stuff.
Inherited it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we showed up just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Spawned in, landed, came out from the inside of the hollow earth.
Ooh,
Whatever it may be.
Whoa there. You taking me down another rabbit hole.
It does beg the question.
Damn.
If there was a great reset. I mean, I guess it could even be like removal of memory, right? Or we have people that grow up outside of these areas. You kill off the ones that did live there, did create it, whatever it may be. And then you bring those people back into it. They don't know the stories to tell.
So you would have to then start with a younger generation.
You start with a younger generation. That's where we start getting in that direction.
Okay,
right?
let's do it.
So before that, the Erie Canal is built in the U.S., okay? It was built between 1817 and 1825. 8 years. It was not done by professionals, as far as we've been told through history. It's 363 miles. And I believe it's like somewhere around like 10 to 15 deep, at least. And certainly fairly wide. That means they would have to make a mile's worth, like, complete a mile's worth every 8 days. Excavating this entire place, going through mountains, going through just land in general. You're working through all this stuff, and you got to do a mile every 8 days. Think about just walking a mile.
Yeah.
That takes some time. If you're working every inch of it, digging, no excavators. You've got shovels. You got the biggest shovel that the guy can carry.
Yeah.
That's all you've got. And we did that. Again, on that timeline, even heck, let's say it was 1817, or let's say 1815, 1830, 15 years. That would still put you at probably about a mile every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, unless you got people working around the clock and they never get tired.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't believe that. And on top of that, again, they went through mountains. They went through, I can't remember what the mountain was called, but it's a huge mountain made up of limestone. They didn't even have dynamite yet. They used black powder supposedly to get through it, but they didn't even have dynamite. And you're telling me 1 mile every 8 days and going through that too?
Yeah.
Either they did a mile every 2 days and it took them more time to get to the mountain, right?
Yeah.
That you'd have to equate the time. Or they just continued on through the mountain like it was nothing.
I feel like it'd have to be something supernatural or something like. I mean, again, this is way before
something. You need a cheat code of the universe.
Yeah.
Which we're about to get into. Okay, so I know you have a lot of this. This is just the portion that I clicked on here. Bastion forts, the star-shaped lands. They're perfect geometry. Like exquisite.
Yeah.
How could they even manage the patterns if they couldn't see from above? I want you to try that. Try making something. Go to the beach. Just try to make something in the sand, like a good pattern, while laying on the beach.
Yeah.
Lay down and make something. And when you stand up and look at it, tell me if it's what you thought it was going to look like.
No. It's impossible.
How would you?
It's impossible.
Perspective matters.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can't even... I'll give you a good example.
Well, what if they had the technology back then to do so?
And they lost it.
And they lost it.
That one guy that talked about NASA losing it?
Yeah.
He's been alive forever, and he lost it. It's like, I don't know, guys, just lost it.
Yeah,
Who knows?
But just lost it.
We had that technology, and we lost it. That guy is just such a meme.
No, but seriously, like,
yeah.
Perhaps they had the ability or technology, but it's starting to seem like, because you're talking about star stations. And these star stations, he'll start popping up stuff about them.
Yeah, we'll pop up a whole bunch of these.
It's a whole bunch of these.
It's going to be full of pictures, so you're going to want to watch on YouTube.
While I'm talking, you'll see these popping up. Now, these star stations were super intricate. I'm talking about, like, it is no way to symmetrically get something correct without seeing it from above. Like, not just standing on a damn ladder or something like that. You have to be in the air hovering like a drone to even scratch.
Example, right? Yeah. I'm sure plenty of you guys out there watch or play Minecraft. You go build something in Minecraft, you know what makes it a whole lot easier? You go creative, you fly up, and you can look at it. So if you're making a crazy structure and you haven't looked it up and counted the blocks you need to put here, 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 so on and so forth, if you're trying to make something, you're going to do all right. But you always have the benefit of hopping on blocks all the way up to look at what it looks like from the top. You know, go to creative, fly up, and look at the top. But try to make something entirely new on Minecraft or whatever you want without looking at it from above. And just tell me if it's easy or hard.
This is what makes it even more intriguing.
Could be easy for you.
Is that it wasn't just one place in the world or one group of people who did this. It's all over the world.
Yeah,
I'm gonna name some cities. So, like,
from Russia to
Amsterdam,
Europe.
Vienna, Berlin, Hamburg. Who else? These are just a few. Copenhagen, Geneva, Milan, Luxembourg. Bro.
Even North America.
These are all different. Yeah, in North America. It's just all different places that knew how to. And again, to me, what a star station was, they all had to have water. Okay? It was always around a body of water. Check all the cities.
You got your spires.
And so this is where it comes to the loss of technology to me, or knowledge, especially knowledge. We didn't teach our kids, and their kids taught other people. But
yeah, there's a disconnect there.
It's a huge disconnect. So let me kind of look at some of my notes. So usually the complexity of these were resembling like snowflakes. Okay? So like a snowflake naturally is shaped by vibrations,
the
sounds.
Geometry.
So how this happens, what I believe, because if you, I don't know if I want to drop this on them yet. The fifth sense. You know what the fifth sense is?
Let's build up.
You want to build up to it?
You mean the fifth element? Almost too.
The fifth element. Sorry,
yeah.
Not the fifth sense. The fifth element. Thank you for catching me on that. So, if you know the four elements right now, name them.
What? Like, what are you talking about?
Come on, Last Airbender.
Oh yeah, water, fire, earth, and wind.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
All right, air.
Air. Yeah. Wind.
But what we have lost, and they probably take this off of this platform because we getting real with y'all on Morr-isMoore.
We have a disclaimer, actually.
Hey, disclaimer.
This is for entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
Out of those four elements, all of them have in common this one, which is ether.
AETHER.
That right there. Now, ether, to be exact, is it also resembles rose windows. It's a bunch of rose windows we can keep popping up. Okay, I'm making you work.
Chill out. We'll put them in, but just not too many pops.
And so it all goes back to the somatic vibrations through, water, frequency. Everything, frequency. These are all we don't talk about these. We've had conversations.
Yeah.
With
as a species, we don't talk about these.
We just kind of put it on the back burner, like, okay, we know it's there, but
almost pseudoscience is how it's seen.
We don't take advantage. We just don't care about it anymore. Let's just focus on these four, like we freaking cavemen. Let's figure out how to start fire, but we know we need water to live, air to breathe.
Limiting ourselves.
And put our damn feet in the dirt. Like, wake up, people, please. And so, yeah, ether is our fifth element. And it's crazy because I love the movie The Fifth Element. Have you seen it with Bruce Willis? Hey, my prayers go out to Bruce Willis and his family, too. Bro, it's one of the greatest movies ever,
I think so.
bro.
Oh, wait. It's got the girl in it, right?
Yeah.
With the orange hair and stuff. Yeah, I've definitely seen The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't see it until like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. And so basically you can look at the stars through a telescope. And what does it look like? What does a star through a telescope look like? Have you seen one before?
Yeah.
Can you describe what it seems to look like to you?
Well, it looks like a little bit of a ball of fire at first.
Ball of fire or something?
Mm-hmm.
One of those elements that flicker and resembles the ether.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it looks like you're looking through water, though. When you look at it closely, you could pop up some right here.
Like how you see the waves moving, you know? Like that kind of undulation.
Have you heard of, you about to pop this up soon.
Okay.
Have you heard of God's hand? Don't pop it up yet.
God's hand?
Yeah.
No.
So somebody believed they were looking at a star, and they believed that they saw God's hand touching the star like this. You can see a human hand
What?
across a star like this, touching it. It was a freaking human hand in the light. I was like, whoa, hold on.
That sounds freaking cool.
Or one of the angels up in the, probably not an angel, but
I would assume that one.
somebody was in heaven swimming. Swimming
That's
in the water,
crazy.
playing with the stars. That's crazy. But
Yeah, that's a whole thing to like unravel.
yeah,
If it is just waters up there, you know.
yeah. But anyway, so trying to break down, you can look up what ether is and do a little research for yourself. That's our lost fifth element. And
as we get deeper in the rest of this, we will culminate back to the ether, and we're going to kind of explain what it does, why it does,
yeah,
that kind of a deal.
and you can show them how, vibrations work through,
Cymatics.
cymatics. And so
The geometry of the
and
universe.
speaking of cymatics with like sound and stuff as well, the vibration of sound, and old cathedrals, like back to these buildings, these old cathedrals and churches, whatever you want to call them, they have these huge organs in them where they play a note and you see all these tubes just like this, these huge organs. And the majority of them, most of them, usually have a body of water close by.
Yeah.
For the energy. Come on, bro. And this is hundreds of years old.
Yeah. It's an intricate system.
Very intricate.
And let's get into some more details before we like actually break that down.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So I had it pretty much it showed Polaris. I didn't really speak on it yet technically. Do you have Polaris covered on yours?
No.
Okay.
You go ahead.
We talked about it already, pretty much. So just think about it this way. Where/how does it make sense for Polaris to exist the way it does?
I can't comprehend it.
What would be your best way of comprehending it?
Is that it's God's eye.
Okay. That's interesting.
And he's focused on us.
See,
And that's the path to
what I really
heaven
see,
through the firmament.
especially through everything, is it's becoming more and more apparent to me that God is definitely not a figure. He's not a being. But what he is
You made him a being. He's
an entity,
okay.
Of existence, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, he's rather an idea that other people use for
So are you
a lot of things.
Are you admitting
The
it's
keys to
a
the universe.
creator?
No.
Oh.
It's the keys to the universe. And it's always portrayed as God.
Oh, somebody had to create it.
I'm just saying.
It didn't create itself.
What I'm saying is the key to the universe is in like understanding and utilizing that is God. Is what is becoming more apparent to me. Yeah.
Okay.
We won't dive too much into that.
So then you went from 1% to 2. I get it.
No. We're like 1% to 0.5%.
You went down?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, again, that's what's becoming apparent to me. That's what's lining up a lot, is it's always connected with things that are good or advancements that are happening are always connected to God. It's the keys to the universe is what God is. So we can dive deeper into that sometime.
All right.
We covered this portion. Back to the pictures about nobody around. So I can understand if somebody might argue, oh, it's the exposure. You know, like these cameras are so old. Maybe they're just not catching what's there because they're moving, right? Back in the day, it's hard to catch something that's in movement, right? A lot of the time it wouldn't even appear, and you might have like a leg here and then an arm over here, but you wouldn't have a full person, right? Because everything else is in motion, and it won't pick that up. Now, the only reason I argue that is because, again, like we said, popped up in Russia. Now we're seeing people.
Yeah.
Same time, same gradient, same quality of photo, same everything. But now we didn't see people. Now we see people, and they're bustling around. So it's not the camera's malfunctioning fault to not see people there, but there was a reason. There was not people, and there were people. Okay.
Y'all saw it for yourselves.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So the building and architecture designs. They're so perfect, so much attention to detail. We talked about that. And then again, the roads are a stark comparison to the architecture. Like, you know, how did we get there? We covered quite a bit pretty quick, honestly.
Yeah, for real. But it's something I wanna tap on that subject.
Yeah, go for it.
So I wanna kinda talk about Chatsworth, sorry. You know about Chatsworth? No?
Please elaborate.
So basically, it's a water-powered. So basically, it's not a town. It's hard to say what it was. It was basically this establishment that was how they got their electricity was through water.
Okay, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so, again, with the ether.
They had a water system throughout.
They had a water system throughout, not turning a wheel. This is just an intricate water system throughout, and you can pop it up here.
It's genius.
In Wikipedia. There itself.
That's what, baby.
Hiding the truth in plain sight, bro. Of there's something either they don't want us to know about, where we can go ahead and just keep burning these fossil fuels and paying these people for electricity to live in society and all of this stuff. But it's out there.
It's 100% about the money.
Don't come kill us. We love our lives. But
right.
It's definitely about the money.
We can question things.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us.
But this picture he just showed was from 1893 to 1936. So, how can't we take that from freaking 1936 and make it better today?
Yeah. Is it barbaric? Is it inefficient? I doubt it.
No. We could have done nothing but get better from this time.
Especially if we're so advanced in comparison.
Exactly.
Why couldn't we improve upon something that was inefficient?
You hit it on the nose. I don't need to even say any more. You hit it right on the nose. But yeah, instead we would rather be like cavemen, even though cavemen didn't do this. Right. I mean, to me, it's idiotic. To me, keep burning up fossil fuels, messing up the air, polluting it.
Oh, yeah.
When if we just...
As long as people are getting rich, they don't care.
I hate that, man.
Yeah. It really is. If you've seen, obviously, through the past and stuff, anything that's been trying to use through, like, clean energy has been pushed down and shoved away by big oil, stuff like that, you know?
Let's bring star stations back, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get back to the energy.
You know how much land that takes up, though?
It don't take up much. It didn't take up much land. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's huge, but I
So
mean, you got a lot of people.
I'm going to ask you about this. So we've talked about the buildings that, are crazy, extravagant, Renaissance, those types of buildings. If you look at those times, you will see like old photographs, stuff like that, of people
Yeah.
in their homes. Wood, plaster, just the cheapest stuff.
Mm.
You got too much wind, blows over level of, architecture.
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? Why are we making these other buildings, especially like, places, like for me especially, right? Places of worship. Why are these being treated so much when we can't even do housing that well?
Mm.
Well, because they weren't made by us.
Mm.
We made the wood plaster. That was our ability. Somebody else must have made stuff before.
I like that.
Because we couldn't, if that's what we're making, what? Is it because cost? Is it really? Because we didn't have that many people back then. We were not an overpopulation land. We were not making favelas and slums. All right?
No. Yeah.
We had space, and we had
space and opportunity.
Yeah, baby.
To
right.
actually do better.
Yeah.
And keep it going.
Exactly.
I mean, can you
So it's
imagine
like, what
doing it
happened?
without being in an industrial period?
Yeah, exactly. So if they did do it, why didn't they do the rest of it?
It's almost like
At
we
least
just
similar.
dumbed ourselves down. It's like we
just forgot.
We as beings just rather to be lazy
Yeah.
and do it a different way.
I guess the most logical thing you could think of is they started making that stuff and like, we could use like wooden plaster instead for like this houses and stuff. Yeah, that'll be quicker and it'll cost a lot less. Let's just do that,
That would be quicker.
It could be them
Instead
just
of
kind
this
of giving
house that'll
up.
last
But it's like we have so
2,000
many
years.
massive ones of these.
Mm.
It seemed easy enough to build given the time that they were given to build them.
Yeah.
So why 363 miles of canal created through dirt and stone, through mountains, through flat land, done in just 8 years. And you're telling me you couldn't make a bunch of those houses?
Now, I want you to think about this, bro. This is the perfect time to say this and talk about this subject. Have you heard of the Crystal Palace in London?
Yes.
Okay. So for y'all who don't know what the Crystal Palace is,
This is
look it up
crazy.
for yourself. But it was constructed in just over a year, I believe 13 months.
Yeah,
It took them to build this. But let me give you the details of it. And it was never again repeated.
Never.
Never again to be repeated. Now, here we go. It was made with over 4,000 tons of iron, 300,000 sheets of glass, crystal glass. And this was before they made automatic glass, before the industrial period again.
Yeah.
So
You couldn't just make 300,000 over, a month.
yeah. So this was before automatic glass manufacturing. So, and of course,
way before the industrial period.
if we keep it to the math, so how they got it done, let's listen to this. They would have had to make 822 glass panels per day, 7 days a week for a year.
For a year.
In this shack right here, in that little glass place. How the hell are you moving it on a horse and carriage?
Who's paying for that?
How are you moving the glass and 4,000 tons of steel
After making 822 panels
on a horse
a
and
day,
carriage?
non-stop.
Non-stop, 24/7, 822.
Like, you have to employ a lot of people to do so.
Or again, like you said, slaves.
Again,
But-
exactly. So they don't have a choice.
So in that factory, this was his sketch before they started. This is what the sketch looked like. And then within a year, this is what his sketch upgraded to. God damn. Never to be replicated again. Okay, I just want to know how.
Yeah, it's basically iron framework with glass covering every inch.
It was majority fucking glass.
Exactly. It's just a framework to hold it in place with iron. That's it. Otherwise, it might as well just be glass.
How you transporting glass?
How you transporting?
How you
Putting it all in? And think about it. 822 a day, every day for a year.
Yeah.
What if somebody drops a piece? You know? Somebody drops a piece, it breaks.
Oh, no.
It's raining. Somebody slips. You know, like there's a margin of error I don't think they're prepared for.
But it was done in 13 months.
Exactly.
And they had to,
exactly.
So in 13 months, they got it done. But they had to print all that, the glass or whatever, for 12 months straight. Nonstop.
Yeah.
And then transport it on horse and carriage with the 4,000
primitively
pounds a
install it as well.
Iron. Oh my God. Okay. And that was 4,000 tons. Sorry, not.
And based on the picture as well, you can see, you know, it's buildings like that. It goes like that.
And to be clear,
that's not especially easy.
These pictures are illustrations.
Modern machinery getting
these
you up
pictures
there.
are illustrations, and not only that,
those panels are big.
He had
those are big panels,
huge
glass panels.
Yeah, he had
glass can get heavy.
Intricate waterfalls that shot up 250 feet in the air.
Yeah. How you pulling that off back then? How you doing it?
And the record at the time was 260.
Like not even a fourth.
260.
Yeah.
But how are they doing this?
Without something that's electronically.
What are we missing?
pumping.
I need y'all to comment down below and tell us how.
Yeah, if you got some stuff, tell us. You know, oh well, because of this. Oh well, I guess that does help.
Yeah.
You know, or oh really? Whatever it may be.
And
I definitely want to hear some more.
This is even crazier. Not only that, but he tore it all down. The architect and creator of this, who put it up in 13 months, tore it all down and moved it somewhere else and rebuilt it. And then after
it was nothing.
What? And so then, not only that, you can see this on Wikipedia. Right here. They said he had a special skill to move trees that were up to 15,000 pounds.
15,000 pounds.
7,264 whatever kilograms.
Yeah.
How the hell is he extracting these big ass trees and moving them? This is in the 1800s.
Yeah. It's a lot of horses.
You seen when the industrial period started. When and how the hell did he do it? It wasn't a crane.
No, they couldn't use a crane. They couldn't forklift it or.
They ain't have big ass rubber wheels. To move nothing. Can we say?
Burn it.
Now, if you understand, now this is completely off the rails. With the times, because I'm just critically thinking. With us understanding ether and vibrations, I have seen somewhere where it could be possible to move things with vibrations.
Yeah?
Yeah. That means that we lost the technology. I mean, vibrating something 15,000 pounds.
Can you imagine just
Yeah.
transporting it through vibrations like that?
Who would want to lose that technology, though? That would explain the pyramids and everything.
It's powerful technology.
Who gave it to us? What
Who took it away?
What civilization? I said civilization.
Civilization?
What civilization are we to be the dumb ones to start over and lose the damn technology to do so?
Somebody else knew it. We came down.
Is somebody stopping us from...
Didn't understand it? Or we're here. Everyone was killed out. whatever it may be, those in power decided, no.
You need your water right there.
They shouldn't have that.
Oh, I guess it's good.
Yeah, that's fine. I put it up there just so I don't have to reach down every time.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it's either taken/hidden. We never learned it. It was those before us that did.
Yeah.
Or we somehow, or at least we're coerced to forget. What if somebody said, "Oh, okay, we can use vibration stuff. Oh, actually, you know what? We got Bobcat machines and stuff now. Forget all about that. Or maybe that's the plan. So forget about that stuff. We're going in a different direction.
Buy these.
There's no way to. I mean, you could write it down in a book, I guess, but it's not like I can post online the schematics of the device I used.
It really makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
Because we
you know how much it gets lost in translation?
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like, the older someone gets, the more they forget. Also, the more their brain changes things in their memory, stuff like that. So if you're relying on just people telling stuff down the line until we got around, a lot of stuff's going to get forgotten. A lot of stuff wasn't taught to some people. A lot of stuff wasn't even seen by some.
Yeah. Think about the things that were written down.
Yeah.
And it just found its way back into dirt.
Yeah. And in the past, we've had book burnings.
Yeah.
I think, Hitler did it too, didn't he?
Yeah.
But
think about Chicago.
Thousands of years before that.
Chicago in the 1800s, I believe.
We're about to get into Chicago.
It was burned down pretty badly.
Yeah. We're about to get into Chicago too.
Fire.
We'll pop up some images of like old Chicago as well. Not old Chicago, but Chicago back then. And how amazing. It looked like Rome, dude.
Bro, it looked like a place I would want to live.
Yeah. Like, it looked
and
incredible.
I got Wi-Fi today.
Right.
Clip that. No, I'm playing.
No, you're crazy. All right. Soil liquefaction. Right. So we get into, it's like quicksand, how it moves the soil down there. So if you look at a lot of these older buildings,
yeah,
especially older buildings, you start to see that there's some windows on ground level. Like, not even just you're inside the building, you can look out a window, but below where your head's at, like below your knees, we got windows.
Below the dirt.
Below the dirt. Doorways too. Why are we doing that? Well, are we building it that way? Okay.
Are
we getting soil accumulation to go above that?
What that indicates is that it was there hundreds of years before.
Mm-hmm.
If not thousands. Because of weathering.
Exactly.
God dang.
And this is under...
And show these pictures.
Yeah, this
I know
is
you probably
under
already
the
have
capital
them,
in the U.S. as well as other places. But like our own capital.
Yeah.
And they have columns built down there.
Ooh.
And as far as anyone's concerned, columns are an artistic choice.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they be below the ground?
Yeah.
Unless they were designed to be an entrance, or at least supposed to be a spot to be seen. And the new entrances, the new doorways, the new windows were all put in because they lost that.
And think about
portion.
this.
It's been so long. They add their additions.
The dirt covered all of that and couldn't be found until we had excavators to actually remove it back.
And there's no way people are excavating that themselves just to build a building.
No.
It's difficult to make basements.
Mm-hmm. Think about Stonehenge. Did people try to cover up a piece of history? Because you could pop it up here. Or did this happen over thousands of years? It was covered up. We could only see the heads.
Not Stonehenge, then. You're talking about Easter Island heads.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He knew what I was talking about. He did the right pop-up,
You know what's funny?
Sorry.
You know what's funny? My wife, every time in Fortnite, she sees those Easter Egg Island heads with the OG season.
Yeah.
She said, look, they got the Stonehenge over there. So that's literally so funny.
Y'all probably knew what I was talking about, though.
Yeah. Well, once you said the rest of their bodies, like, makes sense. But like that, especially, it's like, oh, they're not just heads. They got bodies. You know? That's like why you should always dig deeper. Hey,
no pun
dig
intended.
deeper.
Pun intended.
Okay, now we get into some weird stuff. Orphanages, around that 1800s time, they opened for the very first time. Now, the reasoning was that a woman who would have a child would be an unlegitimate child, goodness sakes, and you would actually have to wear even clothing to show that status, and it was looked down upon. So after all this time, stuff would have with kids. I don't know about death, stuff like that, but they eventually opened up orphanages because they didn't want to be marked as, a mother of an illegitimate child, which is super sad.
Yeah.
Because it's like nowadays, it's like, okay, she's not with who I had the child with. Okay, well, now I'm with her. I'm stepdad now. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's a way different world now, but back then it was like, ew, gross. Like, what?
So they started orphanages back then. And
they started pouring in by the hundreds of thousands.
Just kids. Lost kids?
Before 1860, from the time it opened up, which I'll insert, until 1860, 376,000 children were received in orphanages.
Let's put it this way. It's 358,000 people in Wichita.
So basically,
That's
Wichita.
That's perspective.
Yeah, that is some perspective.
Now, this isn't the industrial period where it's baby boomers. This is way before that.
Oh, yeah. Way, way before that.
God, dog.
Before we could even think of a combustion engine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, that's just incredible.
Sheesh.
So, what they started to make with these new orphanages and such is, first of all, work camps.
Are all these kids around the same
Put
age?
them to work. They seem to be. A lot of them, at least.
You gotta remind me at the end. I'm gonna take a note. It's something I want to say.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
take a note
can't.
right there. We got baby farmers. But again, they entered these kids into working camps. Like orphanages were there. They're specifically meant to work. We got child labor beyond belief. The children were doing most of the jobs out there. Why? Why not the adults, huh?
They
just
were
wanna take
doing the
advantage-
majority of
The
jobs?
majority of jobs.
The kids?
Mm-hmm. In obvious places that were meant to be obviously adults working there, they had children. They utilized
Like
the influx of orphans.
coal mines and stuff like that, or what?
Coal mines,
Oh, yeah. They
paper,
couldn't mine coal. It was
sewing.
no industrial.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's before the coal mines. But anything they could do that had any way of,
Cleaning chimneys.
cleaning chimneys. I mean, you can even see them, doing stuff like making, yarn, fabric, stuff like that. Just anything they could get a child to do, and they could do it. You were made to do that. I'm not sure if they got paid or not, but that's where you see an influx of orphans in these orphanages being put into work camps, being utilized because they don't have no idea what to do with these kids, and also
Where did they
people
come
were
from?
bad.
Where did they come from?
You have a lot of these people having illegitimate kids, right? There's no birth control, right? But at the same time, 376,000 illegitimate kids.
Say that again.
376,000?
That's crazy.
That's just so much.
No, it's crazy.
That is so freaking much. So, what you start getting next is baby farmers, right? So now you are meeting with these so-called baby farmers with your illegitimate child.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the orphanage,
Hmm.
hey, come meet me on the tram. Come meet me at this place in public,
Yeah.
I'll give you, I can't remember how much. Let me see if I have it here. I'll give you 12 pounds. Which was a lot back then,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like I probably have to look at the inflation difference and whatnot, but it was a good amount of money
Popped up. Yeah.
just to give away your kid. These baby farmers. What are they going to do with your kid?
Enslave them.
Enslave. Kill. Worse. But they don't care. They'd rather just not be illegitimate mothers back then because of how the society was so bad. Rather than accepting that, it was like you were a demon at that point.
So was a lot of people just selling their kids?
A lot. Yeah, I mean,
Hey, I
for
need
for
this-
12 pounds, you know what I mean?
Sorry, son. I need this $12.
I gotta get these $12, man.
That's gonna take care of me.
You costing me money, bruh.
my rent $1 per month, boy. Tripping.
Excuse me. Okay, so that's essentially where they got put into workhouses even more. Is these children were just essentially put into slavery like that. All right.
That's sad.
You know what an infantorium is?
Infantorium?
Infantorium. You know what it is.
So infants
Mm-hmm.
in a torium.
There you go.
Let's go. I'm on top of it
Let's
today.
go. So they would incubate sleeping babies that were premature. And now these are like at the times of the World Fair in 1896 even.
Chicago.
Just premature babies in incubators that you would have to go and pay to see. Right? Weird already.
Crazy.
Super weird already.
That's
Because I guess
crazy.
you're trying to like, oh, they're being incubated. That's cool. But like, wouldn't somebody be like,
What
hey,
kind
this
of-
is weird, dude? Like, what are you doing with these babies? Where'd you get them? You know?
That's some.
I can't remember what the
even
doctor's
explain
name
how I
was.
feel about that.
Because it's just weird.
Because
It is beyond belief weird.
that's. All right, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Because that's just. What the hell?
Yeah. How do you, I mean, where do you start questioning, right? There's too many to do
Pay
in the first
my-
place.
Pay my 10 cents to go see this baby.
Right?
That's crazy.
Premature babies, too. Like ones that need to be incubated, essentially, where they
Yeah.
wouldn't survive.
You think they were just going like, oh, I would adopt him. Or they was like, oh, I'm baby farm this
Well,
one.
we're going to get there, too.
Oh, okay.
You know, we've had celebrities, they love to adopt, right? I can't remember her name either. I'll probably pop her up.
Ooh, Angelina Jolie.
Nope. Like from back in these times.
Oh, okay,
Do your
okay.
pop? Okay, that's her. She was a famous
She
actress.
looks like she'll do something weird like that.
She
And it's
kinda looks
always
like
the actresses.
She looks witchy.
It's the actresses, man.
So she adopts. You can see on the photograph too from there as well. It has on the bottom
Yeah.
of where she was at and that she adopted one of these premature babies. Why? To save them? Dark reasons?
No, she put him in a fair. She got paid off that baby, huh?
Or just imagine like you get paid for giving the baby and it's more cheap to adopt it back. It's just a scheme. That'd be wild. So the weirdest part about especially them going in and paying to see these incubated babies too is they ever seen a baby before?
Mm.
Is that their first time seeing a baby, an infant child?
What if they couldn't have kids?
What if they couldn't? What if they had been placed where they were placed at the age and form they were? They have no idea what a child is,
Mm.
you know? So why would they pay for to see these babies? It would stand to reason as it was a spectacle.
Bro,
Infants were a
let's
spectacle.
let's really try to dissect this.
Okay.
So, I can't have a child of my own, but I get to go to a world fair and see a baby in the incubation.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also adopt if I want. It just sounds like they were placed, to me, critically thinking,
Yeah.
just to parent the next generation who could procreate. That would be crazy. Whoa. But then it's
That
like,
would be crazy. Especially, I've never looked at it from that angle specifically.
yeah. What would you?
Like
how
that's
would
the
you-
new age
Yeah.
that
Like
they're growing.
these are the next generation. Let's work them early so they know how to work.
Set them on the straight.
Whoa.
Our plan is to keep them
Whoa.
busy 12 hours a day.
This is how they got to work to keep this new place we live in.
You got to
Going
think who's
strong.
pioneering that change.
That's a tough
You know?
theory. That's
Like-
a tough theory.
Did some aliens?
I'm
some
telling you,
reptilians?
remind me what the hell I have to say at the end of all this. Last question.
You have a note, right?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay. You said last question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now we've dissected that quite a bit, right? Let's see here.
And I know y'all
So,
see all these pictures. This
yeah.
is real life
This
you
stuff
didn't know about
happened.
it.
Yeah,
No,
this is stuff that
this
we
is
don't
the stuff
read
that I
about.
was saying is factual.
Yeah, like why aren't we figuring out this stuff in school?
They don't talk about this.
I tell you what, I've been a lot more interested in school if I got to learn about
They've
stuff
never
like this.
talked about this in school.
Yeah,
Why?
maybe they can't spin the narrative. You know,
Damn.
maybe they just don't think we're adult enough and we're children to learn about it. Who knows? Because you learn about other bunch of messed up stuff in school anyway. So,
But they left the breadcrumbs there.
one final question
Go ahead.
on that portion: where are the parents? We got the babies.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the parents just simply have them and sell? Were they taken? Were they found?
And as you can see in the pictures, these are all white kids.
Yeah,
Ain't no like slave babies running around. These
that's a good point. Yeah, there's no ethnic changes.
Could have been slaves, but that is, and this is all over the world at this point. It's
All
not
over the
just.
world.
It's not just in.
I mean, this is the World's Fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People come hundreds of thousands of miles to get there.
Damn, bro.
Incredible. Okay. I think that kind of wraps it up, except for there was put through there were, in the inventorium, 80,000 babies.
Wow.
80,000 premature babies.
Wow. Premature.
80.
Why were they preemies though?
Exactly.
Not just no full term. It's some they 80,000
Sounds taken to
preemies.
me, or
Ooh.
grown, maybe transported, outside of the womb. Like, why were they incubators anyway? Like, it's some.
I'm gonna just say some storks dropped them off.
Yeah, there you go. That's where that came from, right there. They're like, the storks dropped them off.
Storks dropped them.
Everyone's like, okay, you can keep my 10 cents. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Hey, come see some stork babies.
So, okay, this is where we're gonna get back into the buildings, right? The domes, the function of the domes. Again, we'll pop them up again. You ever notice? It's a normal design as far as what we're used to. Everything looks fine. It just looks artistic,
As you go around the world, you'll see this.
and it's everywhere.
It's not just one place.
It's not
I'm talking
one
about-
spot that decided, oh, this sounds interesting. It's everyone's doing the same thing.
And I mean, think about communications. It's not nobody
You're not
you can
communicating.
Call and say, hey,
You in North America, you ain't talking to Russia.
build this like this, Russia.
Yeah.
And then turn around and you, okay, Berlin, y'all do this.
There's no way.
No.
They couldn't. So with that, it's either a very big coincidence that we had the same artistic choice in making these buildings, or one man traveled the entire world and told everybody, let's build this type of design. That sounds cool to me. Or there's a function to it. There's a function that everyone across found. They utilized.
Yeah.
So the domes theorized to have harvested, generated, and distributed energy. Now we're going back to the fifth element that he was talking about. Okay? Above it, on top of the domes themselves, whether they're crosses, crescents, straight up, looking like antennas, they are the antennae.
Talk to me. And these all pictures
again,
y'all,
the
y'all can
domes-
see up here.
The domes would act as resonators, right?
Yeah.
That's its play in this machine that we're talking about. The antenna, it's an antenna. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the antenna. I mean, it's just there to grasp the energy,
Yeah.
to pull it in,
Yeah.
right?
That's what they do. They grasp the signal.
Arches,
Yeah.
columns.
Now, I want to ask everybody this. Out of these arches he's about to pop up, what do they look like?
Yeah.
Come on, just think about it. One after
Imagine just cutting it
another,
out.
and in different places, everywhere, across the world. What do they look
And
like?
beyond artistic, they rarely ever look like they have any reason to do so. There's not a function that we have for it being an archway.
I mean, and then like when you talk about art, being an artist.
Yeah.
How is this artist all over the world at the same time?
How is it all over the world, or how is it such an unoriginal idea?
There
Right.
you go.
So
Hey, this is so normal to do.
the the arches and columns act as amplifiers and coils. And then the capacitors, again, you'll see on these pictures, is the open portions. In between the dome and the rest of the building for usually, or in between the dome and the antenna itself. So again, they're capacitors. They're going to essentially hold and maintain that energy that that's bringing in. The antennae, normally made of guess what? What's the two things it's normally made out of for those antennae?
Gold,
Gold and
copper,
copper. Now, what are gold and copper really known for?
conductor.
Conductors. They're really great conductors. So when you look inside these domes,
God dang.
we talked
bro.
about this already.
Y'all just gotta.
We're catching it all up.
I really hope they like. What the hell?
Yeah, you got to check this man's video
is
out.
everywhere across the world,
All over the place.
and they conductors. Why?
Yeah, why else have these pointy things there? You only ever see that if you're trying to, hold a connection, drawing in energy, right?
Energy, bro.
Or sending out signals,
Yes.
right? Excuse me.
You got.
So if you look inside these domes, especially, like we talked about the flowers, there's, the petals in there. All that stuff has perfect symmetry. Now, symmetry is going to cause constant vibrations within the domes, right? Why would you need that?
Because guess what? What does that got to do? It has to do with one of the lost elements, or the one lost element.
Mm-hmm.
It brings in a fifth element.
Now, we're going to pop
Ether.
these up. Now, this is, obviously, we're not going as in-depth with each of these processes,
But
again,
we want you to see this, okay?
we want you to see what we're talking about, and we want you also, if you guys choose to dig deeper, if it is interesting to you. Because it's all covered in this video, but we're just giving you the basic idea.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more, there's plenty more there as well.
Yeah. And even back to what I talked about earlier, the
Cha-cha-chia.
yeah.
Chatsworth?
Yes. He the generator, bro. Natural generator.
Mm-hmm. All these things connect.
All of it.
All of it
Because
connects.
every one of those buildings naturally have a generator.
You're looking at the domes, you're looking at the antennae, you're looking at the capacitors.
It's a freaking.
You're looking at the symmetry within inside. And tell them what a magnetron is.
I don't know what a magnetron is. Tell
Yeah,
me
you
what a
do.
magnetron is.
So it's something that's used in microwaves to, emit microwaves. That's its functionality. You can pull it out any microwave you want to.
Yep.
Now, if you actually look into like churches, cathedrals, all these places that are, again, the same designs we're talking about,
Yeah.
they have that shape. It's like that and like that.
And it bounces that energy in and out
It's all frequency.
consistently
Symmetry.
itself with you doing no effort at all.
The geometry of the
You
universe.
just leave it alone, and you can see these all over the world
And you'll see them
in these
nowadays
places.
with glass replaced in between there.
Yep.
So it just looks like a fun little design.
Yeah.
But, we use this today.
Yeah.
Just I guess we don't really utilize it so much.
We don't care to.
I want you to talk about this a little bit more. The ionosphere.
The ionosphere.
Tell them about the ionosphere. Oh, yeah, the ionosphere, sorry. My apologies.
Oh, where to start with the ionosphere?
So this is, I might have forgot, and you probably need to correct it. It said 30 miles above the Earth's electric atmosphere. Is that right?
Yeah. So you got to understand, and this is the beautiful part about how everything that he just told you and showed you how it works.
Without that, there'd be no point to any of it.
None. Because this is where they pulled natural energy from.
The ether.
The ether is there in the ionosphere. And not only the ether, there's other, how would you say that?
Elements.
Elements, but it's like
gases.
Gases.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Other gases
like
that
it's not
have
cold.
different reactions.
What's the other one? It's not krypton. It's
Photon.
not
What you talking
photon. It
about?
was with the K. Do you remember that one? It was very similar to the
You'll
word
pop
krypton.
it up right here.
Yeah.
If we can't remember.
Yeah.
Now you can see these right here, and he'll flash through them. The type of gases that you can pull from the ionosphere down to
They're
these,
layered.
yeah, down to these buildings, giving them power into the generator and the conductors and making all of this stuff work. Guys, we have lost the freaking truth
Yeah.
in the way where these buildings today are just something pretty to look at.
They're relics. We act like they're so old,
It's just history.
but yet they're almost unachievable.
But they still stand, and no, we can't replicate it.
Yeah.
We can't replicate it because,
When was the last time something like that was ever built?
you
When
know,
was the last time that was ever built by us? Or the first time even?
it's one thing right now, currently, to this day, and I don't know if it has, it's a cathedral, I believe, in Spain. It's being built to this day. It has been being built for 200 plus years. How the hell did
It's not going to be as good as some of those even.
No,
not as
because-
big, not as intricate.
No, it doesn't even have the same.
The highway here,
It's literally just a church.
it's taken them 10 years to do the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it's probably like 40 miles long.
No,
the
but
distance they're
you
preparing.
want to know some truth, though?
Yeah.
Again, I lived in Japan for a while.
Japanapa.
I've seen a sinkhole pop up, and you can't cross the street. And in 2 days, the thing fixed. 2 days.
Yeah.
Them people work they ass off.
Yeah,
Shout
there's
out
no
to
doubt
Japan.
about that.
Bruh. I mean, like,
That's
I'm just like,
crazy.
that's dope.
Yeah.
I would want to pay them taxes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They getting stuff
You gonna do
done.
something with it? All right. Take
But,
it, bro. That's
but yeah.
crazy.
But for real though, like, even if you take them people in Japan who can work that hard and that fast, they couldn't do none of the stuff we talking about now.
Yeah.
Because,
And they do crazy feats.
yeah,
But even then.
but you can't. It's gone. It's gone. The technology is here. We don't know how to utilize it.
Yeah. We have to refine the building blocks. We have to unlearn
Yeah,
and relearn.
because we've taken that and told ourselves it was useless somehow, some way.
Or we were told it was useless.
And then we adopted something that was worse for us.
Yeah.
And it's
Where the profit's at.
yeah,
If you can just build your building and take energy out of the sky, well,
yeah.
puts out a lot of businesses.
But we are continuously getting dumber as a people as a whole when we can just, hey Siri, Google, do this, do that. You're not necessarily locking in that information.
That's why I don't do that.
Yeah. And
I
that's
make
why
sure
I'm
not
big
to
on
rely.
self-learning. And
Yeah,
that's
I
why
can't rely.
that's why it took us a while to get this episode to y'all because we had to do a lot of research.
Yeah, this one is a Friday skipped.
Yeah.
So this is the second Friday after episode 4 came out because
Yeah.
we wanted to do this justice.
Yeah. That's
And
why it's a lot of editing right here. Gosh.
And there's also
I'll be
a
showing you
lot
guys.
of stuff we had to learn just to start this in general.
Yeah.
You know? We want to do it right. We didn't want to get some little lapel mics and just, or just record through the phone. Like we wanted to
Facts.
make sure we invested in what we were passionate about and make sure you guys got it, so it's not garbage.
And that's why we appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah. We still want to get better and better. We get the more support we get, the better and better we get. So
And the more
shout out
minds,
to Patreon.
more minds we get to reach, open, let you think critically, and try to actually understand things. Because he obviously don't accept everything he hear or
Mhm.
learn or whatever.
Everything's taken
and
with a
neither
grain of
do
salt.
I. But then again, you got our opposites.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So
What
with the
else?
ionosphere,
Mm-hmm.
ionosphere. So I only put some notes. There's a lot more science that goes into it. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just, I try to logically figure out things. The ionosphere is, again, it's 30 miles above Earth's electric atmosphere. It's ionized by the sun's electromagnetism. That's supposedly how the ionosphere exists. So these buildings, they take in the plasma, known as the ether, and uses power/energy. It also, with the ionosphere, the way it's made, that's what creates our blue sky.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like the unsung hero, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the ether carries electric magnetism. It makes pretty much everything possible, is what is being theorized here. And it connects everything through their vibrations and their frequencies. So
Facts.
that's what I call God right there. Frequency, vibration, The glue of the universe, keeping everything together. That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to agree with me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you hear me.
Um,
But that's closer akin to what I believe in a God. We would say.
I'm not about to go down that hole with you, but okay.
Yeah.
See?
We're focused on this.
Yeah, we focus on
Because
this.
we'll go on another hour if we start talking about that.
So you don't think?
Right? Exactly.
All right, yeah, let's keep it going.
All right. So when we talk about frequency and we talk about vibration, like we talked about before, cymatics,
Yeah.
right? So when you put grains of sand, I mean, you can do this with different, like, powdered objects, whatever, but you put it on this little plate, I guess you could call it. You send these vibrations, these frequencies through it. It creates a natural geometric pattern. Same way we've seen these star forts,
Yeah.
The same way we see snowflakes.
And it's off of exactly what I said earlier.
Mhm,
How
exactly.
fast the vibration is, or slow.
Yeah.
That is.
They all have their own
But think about it.
visual design.
Even your food, your fruits and vegetables, they are all, the way they are built and made are through the ether vibration, through the fruit and veggies. That's why they look the way they look.
We'll put them up and, cut that bad boy
Look
open.
at that.
We'll see 'em from the side.
From garlic to kiwis to onions to everything, they are on a certain vibration. Your body is
Somatically created that pattern.
your body is on a certain vibration. That's why you are affected by things you hear, you feel, how you think of yourself, how it's a understanding of vibrations.
You know what's funny?
Alkaline, how the way you eat can disturb your hormones.
Yeah.
It's a
Put you on the wrong
vibration you
frequency.
didn't need. Yeah, frequencies is just water. I drink alkaline water all the time.
Yeah. You feel better.
I love the vibration of the water.
Yeah, you do. You
Come
can't
on,
tell
now
us that
yourselves.
water's not different, okay? What's funny is you literally took over the rest of my note. Just
I
perfect.
did.
It was perfect. Like you did that perfectly. All right, so this is a little bit. I didn't get too much information rewatching this video here, but a lot of the statues, especially like angelic beings, stuff like that, they're pointing up. Oh shit! They're all like, where are you pointing up at? You pointing up at God, or are you pointing up
At the
at
ionosphere,
the tools
man.
above us?
They say, hey,
Giving thanks.
you want to know the way? They didn't do this race. You got, no, they said.
The ionosphere is God. That's what they said. I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
No, they said that's where
No,
the
you said
energy
that.
at.
You said, yeah. You said that's God up there. I get you.
That's where you need to go to get your power. That's where the energy from these. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Don't play with me.
So I mean, like, we have some more to go through here too. But like, in conclusion, this idea, is it making a lot more sense that we inherited this world? Is that making sense? Because
When you look at
we see it.
what we can say is factual about what we're saying, the truth.
Yeah.
Right. It's completely plausible.
Completely.
Completely plausible.
You want to know why?
Why?
The only thing we can be sure of is the last 29 years of our lives.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can be sure of.
Yeah.
We have no freaking clue. And we can't even be very certain from 1 to 10 years old, roughly, like that window of time, you know, like
Yeah.
seeing the world. Like that's the craziest part is we only know as much as we can know.
Mm.
The rest of it we have to leave up a whole bunch of trust to people that could be lying, could be telling the truth, could be withholding some truth.
Yeah.
You know?
That's facts.
So now we work on
I still feel like if you listen to what we saying, you can go out there and find it for yourself.
Yeah. Find it for yourself.
That's what
it's all about what makes the most sense to you. That's what I go off of. What makes the most sense?
For sure.
That's my truth. So a lot of what makes these ancient, relics of the past work with the ether, the ionosphere, collecting, taking energy, and distributing it. We're going to talk about Mercury.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you first time I saw Mercury.
Mercury's so freaking cool.
It's cool to me, bro.
Liquid metal? What's cool?
And I'm like, I saw it in an AC unit.
Yeah.
Somebody was coming to fix it, and they popped it off. I was like, what is that little juice in there?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, that's the mercury. You tap it like this, it'll make everything colder and stuff like that. And I was like, what?
Mercury is like a god particle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does so much. And it's in my opinion, it's got to be the weirdest element outside of like bendable rocks. You seen bendable rocks before?
Yeah.
But that makes more sense. There's like more space in between, so it has the ability to bend, but it's not like it's just like bend, but you can just bend a little bit.
And then is it the temperature that Mercury?
Oh gosh, I can't remember if they talked about it in Fahrenheit or Celsius, but it was like 300 degrees heat to, I don't know if it was to turn to gas, something similar, but to freeze, like negative 38.
Yeah, you need like a freaking, what is that? The dry ice. It
Yeah,
don't even
liquid
affect
nitrogen.
it. Liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
And it's still, liquid nitrogen barely affects it.
Yeah, like you had to get super, super cold. So it's the 66 rarest element. It's funny that sixes come in there. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
whoa.
It is also an excellent conductor.
Conductor.
So think about, why is Mercury demonized? Right? Like when they talk about Mercury, they're always like, "Oh, don't touch it and don't consume it. Watch out."
Damn.
We use it for thermostats. We used to use it for air conditioners.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like the only place you really find mercury, at least in food, is tuna.
Yeah.
Tuna has traces
Fish.
of mercury.
Fish.
And supposedly, if you eat enough tuna, you can be affected by that.
It's this other fish too.
But it's a metal,
high in mercury.
right? It's a metal.
Yeah.
Okay. What other metals do we have inside of us?
Iron,
Zinc.
zinc.
I'm now trying to think. I don't know why I can't remember the rest. But
Iron, zinc. You got a little bit of copper.
yeah, nickel maybe even.
I don't know for sure.
That's a good point.
You can pop it up.
We know iron
made
and
'em
zinc.
work.
Yeah, iron and zinc for sure. And you can go get iron and zinc supplements at the store.
Yeah.
Can't do that with mercury. Like I get that you technically do need those in your body, but at the same time, if I went and got a whole thing of zinc or even iron, I could have severe health problems if I took that whole bottle.
Yeah.
Like it's dangerous.
And then some people deficient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so if it's dangerous to take that much of that one, then why aren't those at least held the same acclaim that mercury is?
Yeah,
What's the
mercury.
true danger of mercury? That's the real question.
That's a really good question.
So they actually use mercury in lighthouses. Okay, so the guys would go up there. They had the type of casing where when it would move around, it would flash essentially. Like it would come blocked off and then it would show again. That's how a lighthouse works, right? We all know how that works.
It spins.
So back then, you had a lighthouse keeper, so he could crank it. Cranks it all up, hangs out, however many hours or days, crank it back up. What they started to do, because they started to notice this, is put mercury inside of the mechanism.
And
it made it, like, I don't know how many times easier, but let's say like 5+
it's
times
alive.
easier to crank it and for it to stay cranked.
Yeah.
Because of the mercury itself. Already right number there. Damn. Not just thermostats, not just AC units. We have empowering the lighthouse, making it easier.
I need to shoot some mercury in my kneecaps. See if something happens.
Yeah.
Whoa, I could jump higher now.
Dude, that'd be wild.
Freaking die.
Yeah. Now, a fun one, like a fun, interesting idea of the lighthouses too is, have you seen the average lighthouse? What does it look like?
Got the red top, glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Does it happen to be striped?
It's usually striped.
Striped with what 2 colors?
Red and white.
Now, what does that remind you of?
Candy cane.
Besides
Christmas
a candy
man.
cane. Besides Christmas. What looks like a lighthouse that's colored that way that you see out in the real world?
Process of elimination. I don't know. You go.
Power plants.
Huh?
You ever seen a power plant? Industrial.
Damn, you're right.
Marked the same way.
Same exact way.
What do those do? Produce power. What are the lighthouses?
Produce power.
Antenna.
Come on now.
The inner mechanism looks and can act like the capacitors as well. Capacitor out, light bulb in. It's a lighthouse actually now. That's simple. Now, a fun one too. We're going to get a little ahead of ourselves, but
You going crazy.
there's clocks.
Tick,
On a
tick.
lot of lighthouses, a lot of these older buildings.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think they needed those clocks in certain areas? There's some clocks that you really couldn't even see from below, and you couldn't see from on it.
Yeah.
So what's the point of that clock being there? Different function? Was it always a clock?
To tell you when the light bulb.
Nice, nice. So, what's theorized is a gauge. Pressure gauge, voltage gauge, whatever gauge it would need. It shows a gauge of maybe how much power it was holding. You know, what pressure it was acting at if they needed to take energy out, release some, collect more. A gauge instead of the clock, because it doesn't serve a function with just a clock. You don't need a clock there.
Okay, you speaking to me now.
Right? Okay.
And some
So,
facts.
Mercury creates a toroidal field when it's magnetized. Okay?
And what's that like? The field.
It's like the magnetization field. You can consider it even a vortex.
Okay.
Right? So, there's a video. We'll pop that up. They have two like electric whatever with wiring that is the actual electricity, and they have that powering the magnets. They pour some mercury inside the bowl.
Put the bulb in.
It's just chilling. It's not doing much. It's just chilling. You put the power on it, and it immediately turns into a vortex. Now, what's affecting it outside of anything else? It's just two magnets. Or even a magnet. I think it's one magnet powered by one each side. And it's creating a vortex.
No batteries. No lithium, right?
Yep.
Nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is magnets.
There's nothing to propel it.
A few
besides
conductors of what?
Magnets.
Conductor wires of copper.
Copper wires.
And
On
you
a metal
touch
plate, grounded plate.
the positive and negative,
Uh-huh.
and it lights up the light bulb, spinning the mercury.
Yeah. And it just goes. It turns into a vortex. With just magnetizing
What
it.
do we need?
Like, what other element does that? That doesn't happen in water.
Where can you find mercury if you wanted to buy it right now?
That's an excellent question. It's really banned or all around the place. Like, if you were
Full bulk
a
sales.
commercial creator of stuff, yeah, you could probably get access to mercury for whatever you needed it for. But the highest concentration of mercury is the North Pole, which is interesting, right?
Talk to me. Come on.
A North Pole,
What?
right?
What?
It's all up there. I wonder. Maybe there's some in the South Pole.
I didn't notice.
But that's how are you gonna have all that there?
It gotta be in
It
it.
puts magnets and Mercury right next to each other, and it's like, listen, why are you not listening? Look, you know what I mean? I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about
No.
Why aren't you listening, Jack?
I know why it's there, but I'm not going to elaborate on it until later.
Until the later part. Okay. Now, this is some of the part where, again, it's past my pay grade. I made some notes on it. But it has to do a lot with the alchemy.
Okay.
You know, like the lost form of alchemy. Now, when you take mercury, you have to transform, I believe it's 3 times it needs to be transformed. And I believe it turns into gold sulfur. And that's what's required to power what we're talking about here.
Oh, damn.
Because number one, if you put mercury with something like gold,
Yeah.
it's going to, I can't remember what it was essentially called, but
It
pull
breaks
itself
it,
in.
yeah.
You know, it takes it in. So if you just had mercury,
Hold on, like the gold would consume it, or they both?
mercury would consume the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the gold liquefies. So I'm saying if we had room temp,
That's a good point.
and then mercury at the same temp as liquid,
Yeah.
but it eventually intakes the gold.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Transmutes it almost. Takes it in to transmute
dope.
itself.
Keep the mercury away from y'all jewelry. Unless you got the fake stuff, you're good.
You're good. I mean, it does it to a lot of metals. Gold's just the main one I know about.
Okay, that's dope.
So the main issue rose was why that's why they have to transform it into the gold sulfur, is because if you try to put, again, a lot of these towers, their antennas, their domes made with gold because it conducts. Same with mercury, it conducts. They do that in order for it to be encased in the gold quality, so the mercury can be with the gold. Because if it wasn't, the mercury would just tear up the gold and be gone. It would eat away at it. You know, just take it into itself. So that's why the alchemic process has to come in. It has to be transmuted 3 times in order to turn, I believe it's the gold sulfur. Okay. So there's a bit of a story. I'll give you just an outline that you can probably look up on your own if you want to look into it more. But essentially, do you know who St. Christopher is?
Mm-mm.
The way he's written and his identity can kind of be like a facsimile for Mercury with gold.
Okay.
As you'll see him as Mercury and usually a child in gold. As in showing these two, right up there, these two together. You know, almost in being symbiotic, right? Like these two need to be together for a reason. And the reason is to do what they used to do.
Damn.
Whoever it was, right?
Yeah.
Now, some more imagery. This is just all the imagery of clues we have. So St. Christopher was one. Now, lions represent gold. The eagle represents Mercury. This is pretty fun.
Okay, we put them together.
They create the animated Mercury, which is what
Griffin.
you need. Okay? What, did you say it?
Griffin.
Yeah, it creates the griffin, bro.
Come on now.
Like, if that doesn't, like,
That's
make
dope.
you think a little bit, like,
Yeah.
it's something that never existed.
Yeah.
But then you take these two things that are also icons for these two elements, you combine them, and of course that's what a griffin is those two organisms combined. It's just like
Come on now.
under your nose.
Under
So
your
under
freaking
your nose.
That's crazy.
Like, why else would it exist, you know? Just folklore for fun? Yeah, I guess it could be. Or it's speaking higher volumes, hidden messages in front of us, especially to taunt us.
So is it any more
Like,
animals
can you
that
figure it out?
is it
No one's
any
gonna believe
more
you.
animals
That are like that?
that like
Signify things?
signify things? Yeah.
Not
Like
off
what
the
is
top
a
of my
what does
head.
a horse signify?
Not off the top of my head.
Then you throw wings with it. What kind of wings from an
Oh,
animal?
to create a Pegasus? Ah. I like where your head's at.
Come on. Okay, you got me. You said griffin, so
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
You can go back to dragons too. So what the craziest part about those two is they're used for like empire and nations, like their symbolism.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the eagles on there, you got the lions on there, sometimes together. Like, why else have that if it's not just another thing of like, I don't know, paying respect to it, or just acknowledging the fact. Now, even family crests. You've seen like the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers family crest.
Yeah.
They've got the eagle and the lion on there, I'm pretty sure. It's one or the other or both. And then don't they also have the two snakes?
That's facts.
On the golden antenna.
That's facts. The two snakes moving up.
That's the most in your face, we still know type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's, you couldn't make it any more blatant with the knowledge that we're looking through. Like that's just crazy to me. And again, this is all, I'm trying to cover as well as we can. The cross and the crescent moon combined will pop up that symbol. Now,
you know what that symbol was?
It's the symbol for Mercury, right? I believe it is. So it's adopted by a religion and given a different meaning. That's the best part is, oh, you see that antenna on the top of the church? Oh, it's got the Christ on there. It's got the cross.
Yeah.
That's church. What is it supposed to be as far as this knowledge goes, right? Now, I believe, I can't remember, it's Mercury and then it's the red sulfur. That's what it is. So Mercury is one of the snakes, red sulfur is the other, and then the pole itself is gold. Yeah. That's what the symbol is for the most part. And then I believe the moon in itself is just another symbolism like the lion and the eagle. All right. And then it does dip into religion. And again, Shaq is on board with these theories. So this will tell you that he's got a very open mind.
Okay, so
religion.
Yeah.
And this theory is being utilized for control and justification for the past. Like I said, crosses on these antennae. Oh, it's because of the Jesus religion and the church, right? Maybe not. Otherwise, it affects other symbols and buildings. And then I did say the intertwined snakes. So, yeah. Oh, they also, because they're intertwined, it does create the electromagnetic pattern. Yeah. Of how, our realm works, the north and the south. And that north and the south still works on a flat plane. We just have...
Come on now.
The core is below, everything else above.
Think of the UN map as a flat earth map.
Do you have anything to toss in here? I've been popping off.
No, I'd love you popping off.
Okay.
Because you saying everything I would say.
I still got like 10 more notes on here too. So we're covering a lot of ground, but we can dip into anything that's that we feel we need to.
Yeah.
So... this is the fun stuff.
Let's do it.
Chicago World Fair. Okay.
Talk to me nice.
We're just going to talk. We're going to stop right here at this one and talk this out. The moving boardwalk. Again, this is during the 19th century.
No.
We're not in the 1900s yet. This is the 19th century.
Yeah. So it's like late 19th century.
Yeah. I believe it's probably 80s and 90s of those.
Yeah. They showing up with something that's more intricate than a damn escalator.
100 times more.
How?
Like you literally have a giant boardwalk being moved, hopping on and off like it's a train. Train without no top.
Nikola Tesla, he wasn't around then, was he?
I believe he was, yeah. I don't believe he contributed that to the World Fair, though.
No, I don't think so.
But he was, again, we'll talk about Tesla later.
Okay. But this is, I want to make sure we could pop it up for people to see.
The boardwalk?
Hopefully we putting a video up of this.
Yeah. We'll do that for sure.
And then, not only that, it's a lot of questions when it comes to this. Because the power they use. I'm talking about these bulbs. They shine brighter than any bulbs we ever seen to this day.
Like fantastic Christmas lights.
The freaking energy. These people, you didn't see no plugs, no lines.
Just draped intricately all across massive buildings.
You could pick...
Covering.
No, but this is the thing you're not understanding. You could pick the bulb up like this by itself and it's still lit.
Did you see someone do that?
If you can find it, this is something I had to dig deep for. Hopefully Race popped it up. I really hope he did.
Yeah.
You can pick the bulb up like this, hold it, and it's still lit, and put it back. Freaking ether, bro. The energy was crazy.
Well, it's being
And
transported around.
Exactly.
Without being
through,
powered.
It's through everybody without.
It's like the Force.
It's,
It really is.
exactly.
Just like we talk about frequencies and vibrations.
And without
What's that
hurting
one
the
word, I guess?
people and electrocuting people and nothing like that, because it's natural
Yeah, natural energy
bro.
all around us all the time.
And it's the best energy.
I'm glad you saw that. That's pretty cool.
People gotta. We went backwards hard, bro.
Yeah. Especially because no one's making a moving boardwalk now. You know how freaking
Hell
cool
no.
that would be? I would get on that thing. Even if it's only going 5 miles per hour,
Yeah.
I'm getting on that thing.
Yeah.
I'll hang out. Crisscross applesauce in that motherfucker. Why not, you know?
Facts.
Let's see. You talk about the lights. Okay, now this is where it gets a little interesting. Because we start talking about things that weren't bad till the Nazis. What does swastika used to mean?
It was it had to do with,
It was a symbol of what?
it was the symbol of the black sun, right?
That's part of it.
Part of it.
But as far as like across the world, it was a symbol of peace.
Really?
It was a symbol of peace. It was a positive message adopted by the Nazis, and who knows who orchestrated it, but it really seems like, especially when we get into the Black Sun stuff, that somebody gave it a bad somebody gave it a bad name for a reason. So we wouldn't follow it anymore. No, were you a Nazi?
Oh, damn.
When realistically, I mean, I could go wear a Superman shirt and go do some decrepit crimes.
Yeah.
You gonna hate Superman forever now?
No.
I mean, it is put into your head with a
This
negative honest sense. So
This is
this is like the deep stuff, like meddling.
I think the people need, are you about to talk about the black sun?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out why I know it as the black sun.
So that the Black Sun originates from secret societies in Germany, and that's because we'll pop up the image. Yeah.
There we go.
And specifically, it's a secret society, and then a subcategory is the Black Sun Secret Society.
Okay.
On top of that, well, they essentially, I believe, either they believe in it or they supposedly witnessed it. Is we hop back, Project High Jump.
Yeah.
Your boy Adley Bird, what he saw.
Admiral Byrd.
Center, or not center, but opening to the inside of the Earth.
You saw inner Earth.
Supposedly,
And it's a black sun there.
it's a black sun in there.
I knew I was connected right there.
Yeah, no, you had the connection strong. So that's where the Black Sun group comes. That's what they believed in.
And this
Powered by that symbol.
That's why they believe Nazis had alien ships and stuff.
Yes.
Come on, all right, we going down a whole
and
different.
as the guy in the video speaks as well, is this is incorrect.
Yeah.
All of these theories about the Nazis and the aliens, all this stuff comes up because of this information being taken incorrectly. Mm-hmm. And again, used to further
theories, that's what
the
I'm saying,
narrative of theories. Yeah.
Can trickle off of.
Yeah. It's crazy how much gaslight we go through. You know what I mean?
For real.
Let's see. Okay, so again, this gets a little bit deeper in the video, but we're now looking at a flatter scale. Now mirror it. Okay. What you'll notice is all the black portion turns into land. Everything else around it turns into water. And what does the portion that we have circled on there look a lot like?
So, man.
It's our world.
Oh, wait.
Half of it.
It's our one true map.
There it goes.
Now, people like, how? What? Shut
Yeah,
up.
you're telling me that there's a map on the
No
moon?
way.
It ain't silly.
Give him all you got, and I'm going to give him some more.
Okay. So, again, if you look at that portion, a lot of it, you can see Australia on that map. You can see the U.S., you can see Nigeria, everything on the Sahara Desert. And it looks close to what we talk about on our map of just our portion. It's a little different, but it's pretty close. Now, that's thousands, who knows how long ago old, but it's not an actual live mirror.
Yeah.
We're not seeing what it is today.
Mm-mm.
We're seeing an imprint at one point that got essentially like X-rayed onto the plasma that is the moon. It is not a solid object.
No.
Again, theorized.
Yeah.
So if you look at the other portion of that area on the moon, the big lands, Terra Vista, that means at least 60% of the land that would be depicted on there, we haven't even seen yet.
And so you said Terra. Extra. This is a little different subject. I know we're going to keep it here, but
Oh, yeah.
I like to think of what does that sound like? Extra Terra.
Terrestrial.
You got it. Keep your mind here, okay? We in the firmament. You are in the firmament right now. So, that extra land, remember what it's called?
Terra Vista.
No. The land that's on our side.
Oh. Let me see.
Starts with an
L. Lemuria.
So, yeah. So, a lot of people, it's hard for them to see it because they're like, well, what is this landmass right here? And it's Lemuria. So,
Dubbed Lemuria.
in 2007, I don't want to botch his name. Masakai Kimaru.
Okay.
He was a diver and he searched for things and stuff like that. He found huge structures, including pyramids, castles, and roads on the ocean floor, a ways off from Japan. And
oh my God.
Which would be exactly where Lemuria would be. And so that proves that the moon isn't a live or active reflection. That this, what we look at in the sky, was one moment in time.
Our true map.
It was like a
Snapshot of
flash.
the past.
Exactly. It's a picture of something that once was. And that has changed.
Would you say Lemuria is Atlantis?
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's very, very tremendously possible. This dude found pyramids, roads, and castles underwater in 2007. And again, I'm going to give you his name. Masaki Kumaru.
Do you know if there's images we can put up?
Yeah, we can put it up right here. There's him swimming underwater.
That's exciting.
These huge freaking pillars and stuff like that. You can see how small he is.
And why haven't we heard about it?
And then these different type of roads and stuff.
Why haven't we heard?
They tell people here, but they don't want people to, no pun intended, dive into it.
That's great. I like that. Let's intend that pun instead. How about that?
Yeah. So the face of the moon is actually what you look at is a composite image, and you have to separate it to actually understand it. Okay. So when you separate the image, let me do that a little better.
Boom.
Race, pop it up here.
I love it.
And you don't see it in the composite image. You separate it. You get one image from one angle and one from a completely different angle. And to illustrate by showing you this right here, this specific area of the moon, you see at the top, to you it looks like a big bright crater, right? That That's what gives it the phenomenon of it's a spherical in appearance, that the moon is spherical. Without that right there, scientists will have a hard time explaining that the moon is, and that we live on a spherical plane.
Yeah.
But that negates it. So, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, because it's not a crater, what is it, Race? You know what it is?
Tell me.
It's the apex of the calm firmament. So, if you see this here, I'm popping up more of a 3D image where it proves to you that take them two images when you separate them and you see that dot, you see the dark one, the light one. It's not only proven to you the map on the composite image that is the true map of Earth and whatever the extraterrestrial is, which I believe instead of aliens coming from outer space, that they already here on the extra land. These extra territorials.
You told me that, and that blew me away.
Think about it, man.
Because it's like, what?
It's
perfect. It's perfect.
Think about it. It's crazy.
I can't believe that.
So nobody ever care to understand. They just think, okay, so you come from outer space. Aliens come from, the government trying to tell you now, oh, yeah, we got these aliens. And they're not talking about people crossing the border. They talking about legit from space, unidentified flying objects.
Everything's a distraction for a reason. Distract you from something.
Now, you probably looked at the map and you like, where is Antarctica? For that, you have to look at, what's the name of the clock? The calendar. It's a calendar that it tells you where we are in time, space, and the rotation of the Earth, and where the sun and moon is. Celestial calendar.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, the celestial calendar can explain that. But we are in the middle. No matter which way we go south, that north pole to us on this part of the map is where all the magnetism pulls us towards, making it the magnetic north. But either way you fly, east, west, north, south, it's taking you south. But that is always north.
Yeah.
If everybody in the world went south right now forever, what would we run to? The ice wall. But are we necessarily going the same direction?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Y'all kind of with us. I hope you with us.
Yeah.
I hope you understand, and I hope
at least you can laugh too. I don't care. as long as you're enjoying it in your own way, that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's only a couple of things I got to wrap up. I think we're probably around over 2 hours now, somewhere in that fashion.
Hey, that's the first 2-hour episode.
Right. So those that did stay on, you're the real ones. I don't know if you noticed earlier, I called the moon plasma. Now, that was not even just theorized. That was essentially proven by Professor Foster.
Talk to me.
Named Professor Foster.
What Foster say?
On film, he stated that the moon is plasma and that we cannot land there when he was asked about the moon landing in the race to go to the moon.
I've known about this for years.
And he even says, Mercury, Neptune, sure, yeah, you can go there. The moon is plasma, you cannot. And an understanding of, again, the gentleman that found that clip, or I guess the whole video per se.
Yeah.
He says it's probably where he has to give half-truth. So we can call the moon plasma, but he can't say that we can't reach the other planets either. I don't know if it's a way to instill hope or what, but again, he died shortly after.
Very shortly after.
How'd he die?
You know how.
Tell me.
I don't know if you know. I've
Tell me.
told you about him before.
Tell me.
You don't know?
I can't remember, honestly.
Did you read about it?
You need to watch about it?
All right.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I think it slipped my mind too. This is how he died.
All right, nice.
Come on now. And what else? So
Back to reference the Black Sun.
oh, okay.
I forgot to mention the fact, too. So they were obsessed, the Nazis were obsessed with this as well. They believed in beings and a black sun. I can't remember which one of these beings were called, but they were essentially giants to a certain extent that came from where the black sun is. And they're the ones that introduced them to a whole lot of stuff. That's again what they theorize. So that one's a little wild. Now, so the reason that the moon gets imprinted is X-rays cannot go through, at least things similar to X-rays can go through anything, right? That's the whole point we do X-rays. It picks up the bones, it sees inside of you, so on.
Yeah.
Now, the only way that you'd be able to refract and reflect that light, again, because UV is just light.
Talk to me.
Is crystal.
Yep.
Crystalline structures.
That has to do with
So if it's coming out of the earth and it's supposed to imprint upon the moon, if it's going straight up, how is it going to go any other direction, Shaq? Because it can go up forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for...
You gotta disturb it.
With what?
Tell me.
Finish it.
What a photo.
You know.
What you mean?
Well, the crystalline structure.
Yeah.
It's the only way to reflect it.
Flash with the ionosphere. Oh.
But also, it has to hit the firmament
To come
back down.
You know what? They got pictures of it.
Using
right
the
here.
ionosphere to imprint upon the moon the snapshot of land at a different time. So it can work is the point. It's not just magic.
It needs the reflection.
It's the only way it can come back down.
When you look at a star,
ionosphere
get you a telescope. Look at a star. Don't look, you can look at the planets if you like. Go look at a star. Choose one. It's a billion of them.
Yeah, there is.
And just look through the water.
That's crazy.
Come on
Look
now.
through the water. I love it.
Look through the water just one time.
All right. And another part I had left on here was that the sun creates hot light, while the moon provides cold light. Why? Polarity. Opposites.
Ooh.
Polarized it.
In the Bible, it said God made the greater light and the lesser light.
As well as the firmament.
And he put
keep
them
the waters
beneath.
above.
He said he put them beneath the firmament.
I like that.
So I wanted you to hear that, and y'all out there, of course.
Yeah.
But
and that doesn't even have to be. You don't have to believe in that to believe in God.
yeah.
It can be a fundamental part of the universe added into the Bible.
I think we've been, especially with the teachings of the earth being spherical, so new. I think we've been lied to about it.
Yeah.
And I think it explains where the hell
They were hoping
where
I guarantee
aliens
you,
come from.
They were hoping for us to be a nice, clean slate. We've already indoctrinated them.
Come on.
We got them in the schools. They're good to go.
Now let's talk about.
Oh, but we put the internet out. We made free thinking.
Nobody's
going to
be.
You know.
I hope you hear the free.
Well, they try
and
every time
critical
someone's talking about conspiracy, they're talking about their theories, flat Earth, anything. You are supposed to be made as a joke. That's the whole point.
That's why
so
they
that way
keep
all
it up
of you,
for you to see it.
all of you, including us, would look at these people and be like, "They're crazy. That's wild." Whoa, somebody's checking into an insane asylum. But it's like, no.
Somebody, if you,
there's stuff that holds up.
People got a reason why they're crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Just because you believe in something does not mean you're crazy because of it. There's reasons to be crazy.
But
that's just
question the smartest man in the room and the craziest one.
See what's what.
And see pick their brain and see
Where they match.
which one is actually cuckoo. The one who's super indoctrinated or the one who's wide the hell open. The one who know how to get to all the money or the one who say, I'm going to get to being free.
Yeah.
Come on now.
All
All right, hold on. Back to the babies that came from nowhere.
Yeah.
I
Oh, is
had
this
to
the
say-
note that you had made?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I like it. Because
What
we're already done with that
if
stuff. So
the infiltration happened, and those were young little reptilians that came from the extraterritorial land.
brought them down, kept them alive, had people adopt to raise them as their own.
Damn.
Could be reptilian just from, anything. Subspecies or, we're a subspecies of humans regardless, whichever way,
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the alien from Scientology.
Richard Berg going to Antarctica, which is around us, and finding extra land. Some people think it's in the earth.
It could just be past the wall.
I think it's past the ice wall.
Because it makes sense, right? It's everything else still lines
So
up.
think about it. If we got our sun over here, what's stopping from them? If this is flat earth, we live here, their sun is down here.
Yeah.
And it's just, it ain't just flat as a freaking blade of ice. But it got a little something to it to hold it.
Yeah.
Water, think of water in shapes. We didn't even talk about that.
You know what's interesting?
The water always holds the shape of what's holding it.
Yeah.
And so, if it was a sphere, don't matter how gravity worked.
That's a good
That
point.
should be.
Yeah, it does what it wants. Now hear me out. What were you just talking about? I just lost it. For the water.
Before water, I forgot.
Oh,
you got
imagine. You know how it always is kind of weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense that eclipses happen and such.
Mm-hmm.
What if?
The black sun shows up.
Well, not even.
What?
Our moon gets placed in front of their sun. And that's how we get it.
See,
then our moon would get in front of... Right, am I thinking about that right?
you thinking crazy.
Yeah, our moon would get in front of their sun. Yeah, no, our moon would get in front of their sun for us. Our sun would get behind their moon for their eclipse. But either that or because there's no sunlight in that land, it's an entirely different system.
Yeah.
Do you have anything left over?
No, I'm
Think we're good?
full up.
All right, guys. Well, this one's, again, I believe it's over 2 hours. So if it is, awesome. If it's not, either way, sounds good. I did say something about Scientology. I definitely want us to go in depth.
Oh, God.
I've spent a lot of time watching my Scientology videos. That's going to be fun to talk about.
You know what? We got a special guest next episode,
Next
man.
episode.
Y'all be tuned in. It's coming to you next week. We sorry for doubling down and getting all this information for you this week and working hard. And we still got to go edit this and do everything else. It's just us, man. We just working.
Just us. Trying to bring it to you guys.
Bringing it to you guys. And
But we put in the time, put in the effort. There was a lot more we want to do on this episode, but we did not want to wait another week. Put something out for you guys, especially, everyone that's been watching with us. We appreciate you very much. It's
But
huge for us.
please, before they cancel us, no Morr-isMoore. Come interact with us. Hop in the Discord and what else?
Patreon, baby.
Patreon. Follow us on everything
Yeah, check it all out.
before they cancel us on everything.
On Twitter, for sure, we put out when we put the episodes, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Maybe even a little sneak peek, at least, of
Yeah.
text, what it's going to be about. So,
Yeah. And shout out again to the person we pulled the majority of this information from.
yeah, he's fantastic.
Go follow him.
He opened our brains up.
Let him know. Holler at us.
Yeah,
We'd love to have him on the podcast too.
that would be something else.
Come on now.
Yeah,
We
got
with
our
it.
first guest though, and we're finally gonna break into the Satanic Temple with him. So it's gonna be interesting stuff.
You gotta be
You
here
gonna
next
see?
week.
You gonna see? Again, I don't put myself
Put
in a
a
box.
believer, a non-believer,
and a Satanist.
Yeah, he's just put him in the same room. What happens? You
What
about
happens?
to see. We'll see y'all soon. It'll be a whole different setup too.
And sneak peek a little bit. We're gonna be filming something right after that episode that's gonna go on Patreon. Our
Only
very
Patreoners can
first
see.
Patreon exclusive episode.
It's gonna be,
It's gonna be
it's
lot
gonna be
of fun.
literally lit.
We're gonna get a little crazy because it's Patreon. We can do whatever we want.
You get to see
guys
the
are
real
gonna love
us, man. Come
Yeah.
pull up to the
For y'all that just
Patreon.
want to have some fun, that's gonna be the bot.
First 3 gold members, they get whatever
don't
they
forget.
want.
You get that gold member.
Get whatever they want from us, signed, whatever. And y'all go do that. And this is the Morr
Is more.
podcast. This is the Morr
Is more.
podcast.
Podcast.
Appreciate y'all coming. And go home.
Thanks, guys. Bye.